TikTok Shop does not work if you don't post. And it sounds simple to say, but I can see it in the comments now, be like, oh, of course, we obviously need to post to make money. But what you have to understand is the sad part about this whole thing with TikTok Shop is most affiliates, they burn out and quit within 90 days. And it's not because the opportunity doesn't work, but it's because they're grinding without any sort of real system or structure. And therefore, you're not getting any actual real consistent results. So since February of 2024, I've consistently made it anywhere from 15 to 30K per month while working smarter and not harder. And so that's why my students like Danny, Clay, Daleen, Tyreek, and Ashley are hitting 10, 20, 30K months, and even my grandma has been doing 40K plus GMV monthly, all without burning themselves out. So in this video, I'm showing you the exact daily routine and systems I personally use to avoid burnout while scaling my TikTok Shop income, plus the mindset shifts that separate long-term winners from people who can't make it work no matter what. So if you're new here, my name is Kade, Wiley. I help part-time and full-time TikTok Shop affiliates build consistent 5-figure monthly income. So if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. The number one thing you need to avoid as a TikTok Shop affiliate if you don't want to get burnout on a daily basis is you have to plan out your day and specifically split your day into pieces. Right now, I know if you have a 9-to-5 job, if you have all these different things going on, it's going to be more difficult, but I have countless students who are making this work and doing this exact same process. So I promise if you actually prioritize this and do this, you can make it happen, right? So the very first thing that I want you to do, and this is different from most people, is you need to split your day into planning, filming, and editing. For one very distinct reason, it's that your brain, when you're using different parts of your brain, it is very difficult to switch back and forth, right? So when you are planning videos, you're kind of creative, you're writing down your thoughts, figuring out where you want to go. And then when it comes to filming, it's you actually speaking, right? Again, a different skill than actually using your brain and planning it out. Then you get to the editing stage, and that's entirely just mundane, basic work that requires no thought, right? So if you're trying to go back and forth between all these, again, I've tested all of these things. It is substantially more difficult if you're trying to go back and forth, right? So the very first step, going back to the actual planning process, figure out what you're going to say, right? So depending on where you're at in your specific journey, a lot of times in the beginning, I would recommend writing out a full script because that's going to allow you to make the filming section easy, right? So the number one mistake that I see people make is the filming part should be the easiest part. You should know exactly what to say, where to say it, and how to say it, and where you're going with your script, right? Now, for me personally, and a lot of my students who are doing 20, 30K plus per month, we are getting to a point now where we don't need an exact script. All I personally need is just a framework, right? However, if that's not you, that wasn't me in the beginning, to be fair, I would have an actual script that helps you show exactly what you're going to say, and most importantly, tell yourself where you are going to film it, right? So you want filming to be the most brain dead portion. You don't have to put any actual thought, mental capacity into it. You just want to start filming and speak the word that you already planned out. So if your content planning is lacking, your filming is going to be substantially harder, right? So make sure you're planning everything out. I do everything in my note sheet. I literally have every single day the plan of every single video that I've done since January 1st of this year, which is when I started implementing this. It has made things 10 times easier. Now, that's the planning section. You want to go to the actual filming section here. Again, if you do the first part properly, your filming part realistically shouldn't take more than 30 to 45 minutes. And I'm filming probably 10 plus videos a day in the span of 40 minutes because I did such a good job in my first section. Now, you want to do all of that at once. Do all your filming at once, and then at the very end, go to the editing portion. This is for me personally, the most annoying part. I hate editing more than anything because I know exactly what I want it to look and feel like, but then I just have to do the button pushing to actually get it. So again, if you break this down into piece by piece, I promise you, you're going to get burnout less, and you're also going to be able to make more videos because it's easier on your brain. So the second tip kind of goes hand in hand with the first one. And so if you're doing the first part, this is also going to lend a hand with the second part, and that's using physical movement as a reset, right? I see so many people, again, if you're not doing the first step, this is going to make this 10 times harder. But if you are doing that first step, when you go to use movement as a physical reset, it allows your brain to more easily switch gears, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to plan everything out and then immediately go into filming in the same spot. Like for me personally, I like to plan out all my stuff and then I'll go take a drive, either go to the gym or just go grab like a coffee or something like that, and then come back and do it, because that more easily allows your brain to just reset and get in the right capacity, right? So it's like you're telling your brain, hey, let's switch gears now, which is going to make everything 10 times easier as a whole. And so when you actually split these sections up by physical activity, or even if you have a job, right? So if you do one section before work, maybe you film the videos during your lunch break and then you edit your videos at the end of the day, I promise it's going to feel substantially easier than trying to do it all in one shot, and you're going to be rushing everything, and as a result, your output's going to suck because you're just so frazzled with your brain that it's not going to do any good. So sometimes it helps to take a step back, slow the process down, and ironically, it helps you make the process go quicker because you're not all over the place place, forcing your brain to switch between gears all the time. And especially if you're trying to film all the same videos in one spot, that also makes this substantially harder. Now look, I'm sharing these tips because they work, but here's the most important thing that a lot of people won't tell you. Information without help with implementation is completely worthless, right? I've seen so many affiliates, they watch every single YouTube video I have about avoiding burnout, making TikTok shop content, but if you actually don't build these habits into your daily routine and have someone help you avoid these mistakes and actually change the content itself, nothing is going to ever change. So that's why I work directly with a small group of affiliates who are serious about building sustainable businesses. Again, business is not a side hustle. So we meet weekly one-on-one and also in a group setting and make sure you're actually implementing this stuff, not just learning about it and never making any of the changes and not making any amount of money, right? So my mentorship, 100% honest, is not for every single person watching this video. It's specifically people who are tired of the hustle culture, post, and they're ready to actually commit for changing their situation for good so you can get to 10, 20, 30K plus per month, right? So if you're someone who gets excited about systems, processes, instead of just hoping to go viral once and just posting 40 videos a day, then we should probably talk, right? So the link is in the description if you want to see what working together looks like. Again, full transparency, most people watching this will just move on to the next video. So let me just show you the rest of my burnout prevention system. The third tip here, I guarantee every single person watching this video is a culprit of, including myself, to be fair, and that's scrolling social media, scrolling on your phone in between. Now, what I want you to do is when you're in this process and when you're in any one of these 3 steps, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. I can confidently tell you, whether you know it or not, if you are scrolling social media, responding to text messages, whatever it may be, again, it's requiring your brain to switch gears. So whatever part of your day that you're in, you need to stick to that. And if you're scrolling social media in between, your brain is basically like a battery. And so your brain only has so much battery power in the day, right? So especially if you're doing other things, if you're, watching family or you are working your job, it's really important, more so than somebody who's trying to do this full time, to really conserve your mental energy, right? So if you are scrolling your phone, that is the #1 depletion of your mental energy, and it's not even close. So the less time that you spend on social media, just in general, after watching this video, of course, then close out YouTube. But the less time that you're spending on social media, the easier it's going to be to actually do the work itself. So please stop scrolling in between. It's going to make a drastic difference. I know it's hard to do, but just force yourself to do it. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, whatever you have to do. The number 5 tip, which again, I am also a culprit of this myself. These are all things that I'm trying to actively focus on and fix myself, is have a hard cutoff time, right? So again, whether you have a full-time job or you're doing this, full-time TikTok shop, whatever it may be, I don't care who you are, you need to have a hard cutoff time where no matter what, phone goes off, you're turning off notifications, you're not checking anything, because otherwise everything starts to bleed together. So for me personally, right, because I'm doing TikTok shop part-time, I'm still doing anywhere from 10 to 20K a month as an affiliate, but because I'm also working with people, right, I need to really precisely split up my day, almost kind of similar to a 9 to 5 in a sense where I need to have all of my affiliate videos done by basically 2 p.m. every single day, right? So I know that by 2 p.m. everything needs to be done. I'm still splitting it up by sections like I talked about earlier in this video, but I need to have it done by 2 p.m. And then also I have my coaching calls and all these other things done by a specific period of time as well. Because the problem is if you just have your whole day for work, then you're just going to be thinking about things, doing all these different things. And that's one of the #1 ways that leads to burnout, is there's no distinct time to just take a break, right? So whether that's taking a full day off. So for me personally, I don't work at all on Saturday afternoons or Sundays, right? Because I found that even if you're just trying to grind for 7 days a week, you're going to burn out quicker and therefore have less results. Again, TikTok shop, you're getting paid for the results that you provide and the quality of things that you put out. So just showing up doesn't get you paid. So you got to make that distinction in your head, especially if you have a 9 to 5 where for a lot of people, unfortunately, you get paid to show up. This is not the same thing. So if you are burnt out, if you're not there mentally, if your mental energy is not there and you don't have specific cutoff times to turn everything off, you're going to burn yourself out substantially quicker. Another really important thing is sometimes so many people, again, I'm a culprit of all these things. So really this is just a video for myself, is you get stuck in the same routine every single day. So again, if you have a job, right, you wake up, you plan certain things, then you go to work, then you do this, and you come home and do that, and you do the exact same thing every single day. Now, structures and schedules are good to help you maximize your output, but at the end of the day, every couple of weeks, you should realistically be changing something. Change the order at which you do things. Change the day that you're taking a break. Change the time of day that you're taking a break, and really just change your schedule as much as humanly possible. Again, I get that everybody has different situations. Someone's going to comment, oh, I physically cannot. You can. If you put an effort into changing something with a variety of your output, a variety of your schedule, that's going to help you, avoid burnout as well. I'll give you an example for myself. For probably 3-4 months straight, I just went to the gym every single day. I went to the same place every single day. I did the same work every single day. At the end of the day, I did the same thing again every single day. So actually by not necessarily working less, but changing when I work, how I work, doing all these different things at different times, it feels substantially different. And as a result, it allows my output to be substantially better, as well as it allows me to just enjoy it more because I don't feel like I'm, in the Groundhog Day movie every single day where it's just the same thing over and over, which just gets boring. And again, when you're bored, when you hate, doing certain things, it's going to make your output and your work and therefore your actual results substantially worse. So that is my complete system for avoiding burnout while building consistent income on TikTok Shop. The truth is most people burn out because they're working harder, not working smarter, right? So even my student Ashley, she was making literally $50 per day, making 30 videos per day, and that's an actual quote, before implementing this system, and now she's literally 10xing her income in 1 month while still posting the same amount, right? So most affiliates, they're grinding without systems, posting without planning, and you're wondering why you feel exhausted after making no actual real progress and not making any more money, right? So when you structure your days properly, protect your mental energy, and actually build sustainable habits, you can work consistently for months without burning out. It's why I've been doing TikTok Shop for 15 months and I really don't get burnt out, right? So if you do want help building these systems and creating a sustainable approach to TikTok Shop that does not leave you exhausted, click the first link in my bio to apply for my mentorship program. It's called the Consistent Creator Formula for a reason, right? So we'll get on a call, review your current approach, and just talk about how we can help you build a routine that generates consistent income on TikTok Shop without getting burnt out and basically wanting you to hate content in general, right? So that's all I've got for you today. Subscribe for more content on TikTok Shop, and I will see you guys in the next video.